Big week last week, Frankie. Welcome in your former team, Miami, on Monday, and then Cedarville victory on Saturday. Kind of talk about both games and give us your assessment of how the team performed in those contests.
Against Miami, I'll be honest with you. I am disappointed that we didn't win that game, and I really, really mean that. We did lose by 10, and everybody acts like that's some kind of consolation prize. That we should be happy about that, but I'm not. We were not very good defensively, and offensively we took a lot of threes, and that's probably on me. Miami's guards were so physical that we couldn't get into the lane like Greg, Chris, and Mike typically do. So we had to settle for some shots that we didn't want to shoot. I think we shot 24 threes against Miami, and I know that we only shot 10 the other night, and we made 4 of them against Cedarville. So I think it's a tale of two games. Miami's very, very good. They had played Xavier the week before, and Xavier's like number 12 in the nation right now, and it was a 2 or 3 point game with 2 or 3 minutes left, and they only lost by 6. So Miami's a great team, and obviously well coached by the winningest coach in Mid-American history, so Mid-American Conference history, Charlie Cole. So it was great to have them come in here. And then on Saturday, we played Cedarville, and we really kind of got back to playing defense like we did against Minnesota Duluth up in Parkside, Wisconsin. And I think that was really the difference in the game. We kind of took Cedarville out of it from the beginning with our defensive intensity and our defensive pressure that was applied by Greg did a phenomenal job on the point, and then Chris and Mike on the wings as well, and then Schaff and Jay did a great job in the post. So our defense really set the tone Saturday, and that's why we were able to, get that nice lead at halftime and win by 12.
From Monday's game to Saturday's game, with the holiday in there, did you focus on defense at practice? Because there definitely was the intense defense there. I think, midway through the first half, you accomplished a feat that I don't think I've seen in any level of basketball, where you forced back-to-back shot clock violations on them and really jump-started your team into taking a big halftime lead.
And we work on defense every day, obviously, like everybody does. But I'll be honest with you, it has to come from within our guys. They had made the mental commitment against Duluth to play phenomenal defense, and they did. Tried it against Miami, we were just outmanned and outmatched. And I thought we came back with great intensity on Saturday. We give them the rules and the principles and what we want, but it really comes from the leadership of our guards, and I'll say seniors too, because even though Sean and Eli, Sean had his first game back since his concussion, and their leadership all the time, and then Greg, Chris, and Mike. So it really starts with their mental frame and their mental tone. I won't say there's anything we did spectacular in practice, but it was a focus that they know. Here's the thing. Defense is going to determine how many games we win this year. If we hold our opponents to 40 or 41% under that shooting, we're going to win. We're going to win. It's evident. If they get up around 46 to 48 or 50%, we're not going to win. And that's the bottom line, because we're good enough to score. It's a matter of if we're good enough to make stops consistently.
GLIAC play starting this week. Thursday, you welcome Lake State in. They're 5-2 coming into the contest. 2 overtime losses.
Right.
Give us a little assessment of what you've seen so far in the film of breaking them down and how you attack them.
Lake State really, at this point, from what I've seen in our league, is playing as good as anybody in our league, period. They do have a lot of players back with Kyle Hunt, Derek Kenning, Derek Billings. Those are 3 other top leading scorers, as well as Cameron Metz. They've got 4 guys that are averaging double figures. Steve does a great job. One thing you can bet, like we played a great 30 minutes against Cedarville and just an okay 10 last 10 minutes when they kind of made a little bit of a run, and it made it to where I couldn't play the other guys off the bench where I'd like to have, but against Lake State, we can't play a good 30 minutes and then a poor 10, which no way we'll win. Those guys will compete for 40 minutes solid. Steve's a very, very good coach. They'll run a lot of, they'll mix up playing man-to-man, and then they'll also go about 50% of that with going with a 2-2-1 zone back to a 2-3 that they're very active in. And actually, even though they mix it up like that, they were second in the league in defensive field goal percentage last year behind Grand Valley, and we were 3rd. So they're a very well-coached team. They're very tough. They do look to push the ball and transition it, but they got a nice mix, because I'm not Billings, but the Billings can score some on the perimeter, and Derek Kenny can score in the post.
Saturday, non-conference game, Marygrove. What do you expect out of them?
Well, they're a very tough team. They play very hard. They transition the ball a lot. They've got a guard, Hopkins, who's very good, and they got another kid, Omar Thomas, in the post, who's very, very active. So they're a very good team. Their only losses have been to D2 schools. I think they may have lost one to an NAI school. They're the only NAI school we play all year, and I was doing a friend a favor by scheduling the game and bringing them in. I didn't want to get to where it's been done in the past here, and then and a lot of times still going on in our league, to where we're playing 4 non-D2 games. We're playing one. We played the #1 team in the nation with Bellarmine, and we obviously played Miami, and we played 2 very good teams up in Wisconsin with Parkside and Duluth. So I'm hoping